Hello, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review for your ears. I just got done with 2 hours and 17 minutes of Bayhem, known as Ambulance. Let's talk about it. I'm glad he has coined the phrase Bayhem on one of the extras on this 4K disc because everybody else will be using it and had been using it for years. I'm not the biggest Michael Bay fan, but I remember when he used to make great movies, when he was the up-and-coming director of Bad Boys and The Rock. And then made all sorts of in-between movies, good and bad sense. I think he's made some fine movies. Pain and Gain was an interesting movie. The Island was an interesting movie. He beat us over the head with some Transformer movies, which were all visual showcases, but not the best movies. And he deserved a lot of the criticism he's gotten over the years. But I would say Ambulance is what other critics have said, a return to form. It's actually a well-made film. So the short version is, if you haven't seen it yet, it's streaming on Netflix, and it's currently on a Black Friday sale on 4K for less than $10. So check it out. It's the best thing he's done in a long time. So as far as the movie goes, I don't want to get into spoilers. It's a remake of a foreign film, and it basically tells the story of some bank robbers who have to hijack an ambulance, and they're chased for 2 hours by the cops, by the FBI, while they're trying to keep a cop in the back alive with an EMT. Everybody has a reason for doing what they're doing. All the characters are well cast and well acted. It plays out as unbelievable as some of the scenario is, like operating at 60 miles an hour in the back of an ambulance, having your hands in the guts of someone trying to save their life while people are shooting at you and trying to run you off the road, normal stuff like that. But when you plunk down your money to watch a Michael Bay movie or an action movie in general, you want to be entertained for the 2 hours, right? And this movie takes about 28 minutes to get going. It lays down the characters and the motivations for what's about to happen, and then you get, an hour and 45 minutes of Bayhem. It's pretty much nonstop once it gets started. There's a reason for Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II to pull off this heist with these other gentlemen. There is a reason why people are chasing them even before they pull off the heist. This is all you learn through the course of the action of the movie. Eliza Gonzalez plays the EMT who gets involved. These three characters pretty much carry the entire movie. There's some other actors who do fine in the film. I actually like how they handle a lot of things. And it's an overindulgence, as usual, for Michael Bay's visual style. He learned how to use drones. So many people talked about it. Yes, he overuses drones, especially in the first half of the film. A lot. But he keeps things exciting. Now, I've liked Yahya Abdul-Mateen II for quite some time. He's been on a roll since The Trial of Chicago 7, Candyman, Matrix Resurrections. I mean, he played, he was Morpheus. He was also in The Watchmen, Black Mirror, Handmaid's Tale. He's been in quite a few things, and he's Black Manta in the Aquaman movies. So he's been on quite the roll lately. And Us. I forgot to mention Us from a couple years ago, the Jordan Peele flick. I thought he was great in that. I think he's been great in everything. He was really great in Candyman, I thought. And he was really great in this. Jake Gyllenhaal has been great in just about everything he's ever been in. And Eliza Gonzalez, I've liked her in things like Baby Driver. And she's really good in this, a different character. I won't get into too many spoilers, but I haven't seen the original movie this is based on, but I'm sure it wasn't directed with as much visual flair as we have. The drone shots in the beginning are almost overkill. There are a few shots that are just kinetic and really don't convey anything more than a moving image. You don't really, it's a tire or somebody's head turning around or a quick drone shot around something. But all of this adds up to the montage that is a Michael Bay visual style, and I gotta say it worked on me. As someone who's seen just about every action movie that's been made since the 60s, who's watched the things get redefined in modern times through the John Wicks and the Deadpools and the superhero movies that we have these days, and to have this with, I'm sure there's a little CG in it, but it's a lot of fast car chases, cars running into each other, explosions, gunfire, and using his visual style on top of that just makes it more kinetic, more frantic, and it gave me anxiety watching the movie. I was on the edge of my seat during the operating scenes, and I knew it was coming. This was a movie that I wasn't worried about spoilers. Not like a Marvel movie or a Star Wars or something like that. I didn't read the whole plot of the thing, but I watched all the reviews and the extras, and I was ready for it. I almost went to saw it in the theater. Almost went to saw it. I almost went to see it in the theater. Didn't get a chance to. I was going to pick it up on 4K. The reviews were out of the park, and then it was on Netflix. I was going to watch it on Netflix, and I've just not gotten around to it. And then Black Friday sales roll around, and it's $9.99 or whatever, and what the heck? And I was in the mood for it tonight. So I could have just streamed it on Netflix, but I did do a quick comparison, by the way. There still isn't a comparison between streaming and a good 4K disc. The data that my disc was pushing is more than Netflix would ever push down the pipeline. It is a 5 out of 5 4K Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos disc. It is hands down worth the $10 you're going to pay for it right now on any Black Friday sale at Best Buy and Amazon, if they still have it in stock. Literally, it's a native 4K transfer, Dolby Vision HDR. It's crispy. It's clear. You can see the hairs on her arm, the stubble on Jake Gyllenhaal's jaw, the varying colors with all the neon and all the LED lights on the cop cars, the ambulances, the sunsets. It's a fantastic looking transfer. I didn't see any artifacts at all. It's perfect. I don't know what it looks like streaming because I didn't spend a lot of time with it, but it's a perfect picture. Dolby Atmos sound was very active all around, very low bass in scenes where I didn't expect it. There is a big truck coming out of a tunnel kind of scene, but you feel this rumble long before you see it or know it's coming. I didn't know if it was part of the soundtrack as far as the music goes, or it was part of the scene, and it's a combination of both, actually. But my subwoofer was reaching down as low as I've ever heard it hit. Amazing. Gunfire has solid punches. It really is a state-of-the-art 5 out of 5 video and audio transfer, probably what you got in the theater. So it gets my highest recommendation as one of the top 4Ks of the year. It's going to go on that short list at the end of the year of movies that I recommend. Even if you don't like the movie, this should be in your library to show off what your TV and your sound system do if you have a 5.1, 7.1, or Atmos surround system. Perfect movie? No. I mean, 2 hours and 17 minutes, you are exhausted when it's over. That was probably the intent. And I got exactly what I paid for, exactly what I wanted. Excellent video, excellent sound, and a great action-filled story. Suspend disbelief and enjoy the ride, because like I said, there's a few scenes where you're just going to go, okay, well, most everyone probably died in that accident or that crash or having the hands in that guy's guts or whatever. But it's got some decent surprises in it. The action is well staged. It's all Michael Bay, and he does chill out with the drone stuff about halfway through. There's a lot of it in the beginning. I mean, it really overwhelms, almost to the point, and I've already forgotten that Netflix movie he made with Ryan Reynolds that's just so kinetic you can barely watch it. Yeah, this is toned down Michael Bay from that. But it is Michael Bay, so get ready for it. And he does do some very impressive drone work. I understand that he hired a bunch of young people, that he couldn't get the scenes that he wanted from professionals, so he went out and hired some enthusiasts, and they got scenes. Wow, you couldn't do this with a regular camera, so amazing. Native 4K transfer, everything smokes. It looks incredible. Spectral highlights on the explosions, like I said, the neon lights, reflections. It really looks great. Warm tones on skin, very natural looking, very filmic. No grain, though. I mean, this was digitally filmed, obviously. It looks spectacular. It's a great 4K. Definitely worth $10. As far as the movie goes, this is a Michael Bay movie I'd watch again when people come over. You haven't seen this movie? You need to see this movie. Do you like all the characters? I mean, the good guys are kind of bad guys, and the bad guys are kind of good guys, and as far as that goes, I'm sure it's an adaptation of the original storyline. And knowing what little I know about the original movie, the gray was probably part of baked into the story. But this is a Michael Bay movie, but a Michael Bay of the good Michael Bay variety, of the guy who directed The Rock, the guy who directed movies like that we all went, he's got something here. Dude knows how to make an action movie, and when he's not trying to beat you over the head with something, it actually turns out well. He's got good performances out of the actors. They're doing things that are, well, at least believable for the characters. And it all comes out in the end to where, they could have launched a new franchise out of this, I think, actually. Ambulance 2, starring, I don't want to say anything because that would give away the end, right? But that would be kind of cool. Anyway, if you haven't checked it out yet, it's streaming on Netflix. And if you have a nice home theater, get it on 4K. It's $9.99 right now. Jump on it. Totally worth it. Scott Hamilton, I'm ROCKFILE. Check out Ambulance if you haven't. It's a Michael Bay movie, but in a good way. Thanks for listening. Have a spectacular day. A lot more is on the way.